enthusiasts, and welcome to Scaled Affairs, the show where I try to rationalize my purchases while trying to fight buyer's remorse by presenting you a review of various anime figures. So be my guest and welcome today's figure on the turntable, Nendoroid No. 1754, Miss Fortune from League of Legends. She comes to you in your standard Nendo box without any notable quirks, and yes, I did not remove the price tag and the sticker from the wholesale company, but at least now you can compare the MSRP to what we have to pay for Nendoroids in Europe. Also, there is one small detail I noticed, but I come back to this later in the video. First, we take the figure out of the box to see inside the blister. It's a double layered one because her accessories, even if they aren't really varied, take up quite some space. On the front side we have the figure, faceplates, hands and gun stuff, while the back part is reserved for her pirate head, an extra leg and the mounting cranes. She is now the third champion in Nendo form on the show, and in my opinion it's the nicest one so far. I can't tell you much about the character itself since I don't play the game and all the league figures on the channel are borrowed from a friend, but what I can tell you are the key specs and show you all the parts she comes with. The part that immediately catches the eye is of course the black and gold pirate hat that only loosely sits on top of her head, so you can remove it if you want to, and I have to admit, even without this major character detail, she still holds up. Honestly, her hairstyle looks even nicer when it's not obscured by the head. Interestingly, this option isn't promoted on the box, and even more surprisingly, there is a second thing that isn't actively shown, namely a set of open hands she comes with. Can't think of any Nendo I own where an extra body part isn't at least shown in one of the featured poses. I mean, you can't do much with them, and also the wavy long hair come with the downside that the head and arm movement is very limited. It is also quite hard to get her mounted with the standard crane because the hair covers up the pinhole on the back. In my opinion, a special mounting piece like some other long-haired characters have would have been needed here as well. The outfit, I guess, is a mix between the classic skin and the Captain Fortune one. Technically you could also remove this belt from her hips, but then of course you have to live with the gap between bottom part and torso. The only other real accessories that are included are the two muskets. They have good details and a solid paint job, but sadly her hands provide very little grip and they fall off constantly if you handle the figure in any way. In addition to the weapons, you get some effect pieces so that you can reenact certain abilities from the game. You either choose between a single bullet or those multi-shot parts. In order to set them up, they come with their own separate mini crane. In fact, if you want to display her doing bullet time, you need two of them at once, but don't worry, a second one is included as well. In addition to the guns and the head, there is also this extra leg, yeah I know, quite fitting for a pirate, with the heart-shaped dust particles. It should resemble the Stroud ability and looks okay, but is also barely shown in the promotional pictures. Ultimately, I wonder if a whole separate leg was really necessary. An extra piece with a peg to put it in when needed would have worked just fine. Miss Fortune's faceplates aren't as expressive as some of the other League Nendos, but I really like her standard smile for once. The one with the open mouth is a bit weak, and normally I'm not a big fan of winking Nendo faces, but in this instance it makes sense giving all the aiming with guns poses. All in all, this is one of the better, if not the best champion thus far. I really like her overall design and that you can put on all the accessories at once so that not much have to rot away in the box. I don't know why Good Smile released a total of 6 Nendo champs in a relatively short time frame, but together with Ash, she was on the tail end of this batch. To my knowledge, since the summer of 2022 there were no new League Nendos announced. Can't believe they will abandon this format forever, but for now fans of the series can catch a break from buying those small characters in favor of more opulent but also way more expensive scale figures. Next time, if there is no delay, I will show you my very first set of Little Armory Figmas. Until then, thanks for watching, and hopefully we can see each other again in a new episode of Scaled Affairs when I once again take a closer look on anime figures of all sorts. Take care out there and keep having fun collecting.